lot of stuff to go through. Let's start with one of the most exciting pieces of news here. There's no bad news this week, by the way. Like, no company's going out of business, so that's positive.
That's good.
Woo!
This is actually one of the few times I can say I've played a game before it came out. I very rarely do that. And this week's game is called Flickering Stars. It's from Matt Leacock and Josh Capel. So this is a more silly, I guess, version. What's the name of the game that Zev just taught us? The Ascending Empires. Remember that one where you flick stuff? So this has some very similar things to it, but it's not just flicking things in this one. You are shooting out of a little cannon, a ball.
Yes!
You are... It's really silly fun, but there's actually strategy to it. You're trying to take over to different planets.
You said Matt Leacock
Yeah.
is the co-designer on this?
Yeah, so that's the only reason I almost never touch prototypes. I never do, if you're asking. But a couple years ago at the Gathering of Friends, I saw him. He's like, do you want to play this? And I was like, well, it's Matt Leacock. And also, there was a little cannon you shot a ball out of. And I was like, well, then I'm in.
2 slam dunks.
That's pretty cool.
I am stoked about this.
Yeah, so there's two. It's a 1-versus-1 type game, and there's different scenarios that you'll play through. Now, I got an email from them saying, hey, come by and look at this at Gen Con, yada, yada. And I can't tell if it's being sold there or not. You can pre-order it right now, I believe. But
it might be getting sold then if it's on pre-order.
Or
that's
is it
what I'm
come
saying, so
check
I'm
it
trying
out?
to figure that out. It's from Friendly Skeleton. If you remember, Friendly Skeleton is the redone version of...
the rebranding of...
Not Floodgate, the other one. The one that sounds like Floodgate. Anyway, they've also done games like Monstrosity, Fantastic Factories. That's...
It's driving me nuts. I can't think of who it is.
Deepwater games.
Deepwater, there it is. Yep.
They were Deepwater, now they're Friendly Skeleton.
Thank you, Roy.
I think at Gen Con last year, didn't they have a giant Friendly Skeleton there? I think they did at their
I
booth.
don't think I saw that.
It was in the very back. They were shoved all the
They
way
have
in the back.
the cutest email signatures, though. I really like their logo. It's super cute.
Anyway, I'm pumped about this. Josh Cavell's artwork, I'm assuming, but also his design too, so that's cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that. That's exciting.
No, wait. Not Josh Capel's artwork. He's just a designer. It says here it's illustrated by Waldemar. Looks like, I can't read their last name there. Anyway, it looks fantastic. So it's coming soon, whether it's at Gen Con or not. All right, Curses and Covens. This is from Good Games. This is coming out September, October, and it's an all-versus-1 card game where you're facing off against a witch hunter to hide friendly witches and form a coven of 3 witches, while the witch hunter has to capture 5 witches to win. 20-minute game.
Trick-taking?
Doesn't say trick-taking. I don't know. It could be.
It sounds like it, but who knows? It's a cool cover.
I find it really busy. I was saying the cover turns me off.
Yeah, I don't really love it.
Way too much going on.
This one, another exciting piece of news for me anyway, the Veil of Eternity Artifacts. So this is a small expansion.
Oh, interesting.
That's going to add 28 cards, which is pretty much all I want. The deck is already a kind of a honed deck of all these cards working together. 28 is going to really up the variety of that a lot. It also has artifacts that you can draft at the beginning. So you'll draft some artifacts that give you things immediately. Others give you a permanent effect. I don't know how many artifacts are in the game, but I do know if you play with artifacts, you go to 80 points instead of 60, even though the game still ends after 10 rounds. So I guess it just adds to the points. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, but the 28 cards alone is good.
That's pretty cool. I like the look of that.
All right, the next one, I'm really pumped about this one, the Yellow House. So this is from Mondu Games. It's a 2-player game from the Janil, who designed Jekyll vs. Hyde.
Okay.
The artwork here is great. This is a game based on Vincent van Gogh. And actually, one of the players is Vincent van Gogh and Gongwin. I don't know, that must be another artist. They're arguing over what's important for drawing. But the artist here, who is the same artist, I looked it up, he's the same guy who did Bitoku and some other games. But he did a good job at, I think, imitating Van Gogh's style.
That's interesting.
Those are really pretty cards, like very art forward. Like even it took me a little bit to even notice the symbols in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, it's a game about artists, so that
like
makes
that.
sense.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. It's
really cool.
It's an embarrassment of riches when it comes to good-looking games in this day and age.
Yep.
You can get, everything. Like you said, this is a game that is in which the illustrator is imitating a famous artist's style. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because it's hopefully just right there. It looks like something that could be sold at like an art museum.
Yeah.
But having Mandu behind it. It's probably a good game too, and solid game, which is exciting for the hobby.
Someone wants to know if the first player marker is a piece of veneer, but I'm going to go with that's a palette. All right. Also from Mandu, they did the Yellow House. They're also doing Quiet House.
Ooh, I like the art on that.
Something that the alternate name is No Kids, No Dogs.
Yeah, I love that cover.
That's cool.
It's a cooperative game from Emmanuel Briano. Wandering ghosts have found an abandoned mansion. The ghosts were content, but now they have to arrange 5 statues around there. So you have to find a placement that satisfies everyone before daybreak. So that sounds very similar to...
the house one, the
sort of decorating house one.
Decorum.
Decorum.
Yeah.
That sounds really similar to Decorum,
does.
so we'll see.
Ooh, that cover I hope is closer to what I want, imagining in my head than what you just said.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what I said is the way the game's going to play.
I'm just saying, I hope that it feels, farther from Decorum than that cover. You know what I mean? Because it looks amazing. I love the look. I love the style. It's kind of moody. If the game doesn't have any of that, isn't moody, isn't stylized, isn't, it's really just kind of secretly arranging stuff and then being like, nope.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Also from Mandu, Yeti Snack. Mandu seems to do a sort of dexterity type game every year. This is from Roberto Fraga and a couple other designers there.
Superstar designer when it comes to kids' games.
It really is. Yeti's was in trouble because his refrigerator is full of old ingredients. Use your wits to prepare snacks for him by manipulating your ice tray. Yeti enjoys chewing on frozen food with his big teeth. Can you serve the snacks to Yeti before the ingredients melt away? So you're going to put snack tokens on a tray as fast as you can, and then you manipulate this snack tray following his instructions. If you make a mistake, you're eliminated.
So I assume like real time?
Yeah, there's probably actually a physical component to this because Roberto Fraga does a lot of, actual physical components.
It looks like they're little ice cubes there.
There might be an actual tray with actual sliding pieces that you have to manipulate. Who knows?
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean?
What does he do?
He's done a lot of kids' games in the past, and many of them have physical components to them. Like he did that one Spider that was that kind of a Kinderspiel winner.
Okay, I'm trying to...
Okay, he's best known for, he did Captain Sonar. Dr. Eureka, where you pull part of the balls.
Okay, got it.
River Dragons, Dancing Eggs,
Oh, no.
Spinderella, which was about dropping spiders down with magnets.
That's the one you were talking about.
That one.
Okay, that's what you're saying. Like,
it is a lot
almost toy factor-ish,
Yes,
but with game behind it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, he is pretty well. He is pretty well known. Go Go Gelato, Dr. Panic.
Yes.
Pingo Pingo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Man, I like Pingo Pingo.
Do you?
That's a great game. Anyhow. All right, let's move on.
I love Yetis. That's exciting.
It's a cute cover too.
All right, this next one is called Sadong. The title of the game comes from the Korean words Simo, Nemo, and Dongarami, which means triangle, squares, and circles. This is this designer's first one. Does a symbol in your hand match a top card in a central pile following the rock, paper, scissors style rule card?
They can't all be winners.
Sounds like everything you would hate in a game.
I mean, Mondo's coming out with a lot of games. They're not all going to be good games, folks. And I'm not saying that this is the one that is not good, but I'm implying it heavily.
All right, this next one is a huge surprise to me. I never thought this game would come back in print. And this is Witness.
Witness.
Witness is the 4-player game. You have to have exactly 4 players. And you whisper in each other's ears information, and you cooperatively solve a problem. It's super weird. I have it in the library just because it's so unique. So now they are having, I guess Witness has 64 cases, but now they're bringing it back. 3 standalone titles: Witness on the Trail of the Chameleon, The Treasure of the Othesis, and the Sigma Club. Each has 8 cases. Although together they form an overarching story of the witness agency's attempt to thwart their nemesis, the chameleon.
So are these each of these scenarios one-time plays?
They don't break. You can give them to somebody else and they'll play, but once you know the answer, you know
But you know the answer. Okay, you solve the case and it's done.
Sort of, but if I remember from Witness, I could play Witness right now, and I wouldn't remember any of the cases. Because, for example, there's one in the Witness thing that shows you see 3 sides of dice. Everyone's like, can see them, and it's going to ask questions, so I'm like, I can see the 3, 6, 5. And so you whispered us all around, and then that gets whispered again. It's like whispered down the alley. So you'll say, Z, sell this. And I'm like, I hope you, okay, I got to remember all these things. It's a memory game. And then they will ask you questions like, what's on the top of the dice? And I'm sitting there going, okay, if Z saw that and I saw this. So I really like it.
It's a really clever
in doses.
Game. Yeah, it's a really clever game. I know a lot of people are bothered, and someone's saying it already, by the idea of like whispering in somebody's ear. You could be playing this with strangers and they're whispering in your ears. It's very like, okay.
This is definitely with people I know only.
Yeah.
Like I would not play this
actually,
randomly at a convention.
I made a top 10 list in 2020. I'm like, top 10 games not to play during COVID. And Witness was one of them. So,
or not to play. It's not a get to know you game.
Yeah, I don't know if I mind people whispering in my ear, but I get it. It does feel almost like a slightly intimate thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's more than intimate. It's like a
invasive?
hygiene thing. Like, yeah, like if their breath smells and I have to like listen, but also not breathe, but then not think about their breath, think about what they're saying. And then, I don't know, it's a cringy thing.
That's why, like I said, it's such a unique
bubble,
game.
Though.
I'm really surprised it was reprinted.
Yeah.
But hey, cool. All right, Swap. Not Swap, but Swap. This is a ladder climbing game coming from German publisher. This is a remaking of a game called Recurring, which I've never played. So it's coming out in September.
Recurring. I like that cover.
I didn't play that, did I? I'm always nervous that I played some games and then I forget them.
Fractions?
No, I didn't. Okay. I've definitely seen that cover before.
That's cool.
All right. Zero to Hero from Martin Wallace. A tile-based trick-taking game. I played this.
A prototype? Two in one news?
What?
What? Tom likes prototypes?
Everybody Tom loves prototypes.
I think I played this in like 2019 at the UK Games Expo with Martin Wallace, I think. Anyway, all right, so...
Tom only plays prototypes with designers.
Well, technically, if you have a prototype, you're a designer.
Somebody else could have brought the prototype and showed it to you.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. Come on, trying to help you. Trying to narrow the field.
Well, this is the game that made me stop playing prototype. That was the other one. No, I don't remember anything about it. All right.
Okay, Zero to Hero, trick-taking, tiles. Okay, I'm guessing there's like a spatial element. Otherwise, it would just be cards.
By the way, if you want to get me to play a trick-taking game, and I do like playing trick-taking games, putting on tiles always is... I like it. There's just something about having those tiles in front of you and throwing them out. I like it a lot. That it's expensive. I get that. It's much more expensive than a deck of cards.
I'm curious about this one. Okay, cool.
Also, Martin Wallace has an expansion coming for his game Bloodstones, Dwarfs and Djinn. Did anyone here play Bloodstones? Did it even come through the studio?
I've never seen it, I think, in person.
It was a Game Found project that did very well, but I didn't get it or anything.
Turkey. Huh.
All right, then we have, let's go down to Brazil.
Yes, please.
So Fel Barros left CMON. So Fel Barros is one of my favorite people. He's a great guy and a good designer. He's left CMON, and now he started his own publishing company to champion the work of Brazilian creators. So I think the publisher is called Samba Studios, and this is one of the first ones, the games from that, called The Copper Trickster from Alex Pena. This was already self-published as a game called Charlatão, or whatever it is in Portuguese, and now it's called Copper Trickster. So this is
I'm guessing charlatan, maybe?
Possibly. Your goal is not to be taken in by E. Nasera, except when you're playing him. It's a competitive trick-taking game, and you have partial knowledge about the quality of copper being offered. You're trying to get the most points by getting good quality copper and avoiding the bad.
Interesting.
I'm definitely interested in this.
Well, that's cool. I mean, and like you said, Phil Barrows is he's a good designer. He's a very sharp guy in this industry. Like he's been in it for a long time, and it's cool to see him doing something new, opening up more avenues for publishing of Brazilian designs. That's very neat.
Bit of a boring cover, though.
I think I'm assuming that is the self-published look, and that they're not ready yet to show artwork because that it doesn't exist yet. I'm gonna assume that.
Okay, we'll assume that on the next one too. This is coming from the same company, and I think this might be the actual cover. This is called.
This one looks done. Yeah.
Onda.
This one does.
Yeah, this looks. The word Onda is Portuguese for wave. First-time designer Arthur Lacerda. Someday, when I say Lacerda, this is the one you'll think of.
All right, all right.
Time to change. You change your last name if you need to.
What? Can you imagine if your last name was Kenitzia?
I guess so. That's almost as bad. All right.
So this is you're trying to get rid of all your cards. So this is a ladder climbing game. There's 6 different types of bombs in this game. A bomb is if you've never played a ladder climbing game, a bomb is usually something you can play no matter what. You know, like Zee might play a 5, Camilla plays a 7, I play a 9, and then Zee's like, I got 3 threes, whatever it is, and then it can always be played, and then wipes the board. So there's 6 different ones here in this game.
I like the look. I like the white and blue thing, like the nautical thing.
I like the look. I just don't love the cover. That's all.
I like there's a little bit of green. There's a couple green cards. It's a neat motif there. Yeah, it's cool.
All right, then more coming down there from the same company. We got Dungeon Rummy. This is from Fell himself, the designer of this game. It's a 1-to-4 cooperative game that he describes as the first game set in the Misfits universe, which Mike pointed out to me. That art looks very Powerpuff Girls.
Very much so. 100% Powerpuff.
You're trying to fight some foes in this game. You have your own deck of 26 cards that are modeled on a traditional deck with a twist. You'll face monsters that require a specific combination to be defeated, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, whatever, or just damage that can be done to them. But during the monster phase, whatever happens first, as they're always faster, they'll inflict damage on the heroes. So cooperative dungeon hero trick-taking game, I would play that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Also, I do like that artwork. The Powerpuff type art is not used very often in games. Barbarian Fairy. Anyhow.
Yeah, it's also fairies, which is Fairly Odd Parents. And
you're right. Yeah. The Odd Parents, I forgot about them. The next game is called 1000. So.
Numbers on cards today.
Remember, Mike puts together the news.
That's true.
So this is a game called 1000. It's a 2 to 5 player game. You're trying to get rid of all your cards. On your turn, you play a card higher than the one in the discard pile as long as it shares at least 1 digit with that card. The 1000 card is an exception. It can be played on top of any card, and any card can be played over it.
Like a bomb.
You can also play a card face down and say, that's a valid card. The next player can trust you and play, or they can reveal your card. With the player who bluffed or the player who mistakenly doubted the play, drawing 3 cards as a penalty.
Camilla's like, she's slowly getting farther and farther away. She's like, numbers and cut. Okay. Bluffing.
Yeah.
Pretty soon she's going to be outside this room on the other side of that wall.
That's going to be from Geeks and Orcs.
Right now, it feels like, and maybe it's an illusion because we're getting all these news back to back, but it feels like everybody is rushing for that audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, where the money is, right? I mean, like, that's what it is.
Right.
Lacerda will sell some copies to people that are ingrained in this hobby, and it'll be a respectable amount, but not Uno amounts. You know what I mean?
I mean, if
everybody's rushing for that.
A $15 to $20 card game, that can be that impulse buy. Yeah.
Well,
let's
change tacks here. You guys are going to love this next one.
I don't
Ozab, a cyberpunk board game.
Let's go. Done. Who cares about little tiny card games? I'm all about this. How many people has that clown killed, do you think?
Who's this artist?
It's actually a self-portrait.
This is a new studio from Brazil, and together with collectible figure company Iron Studios, is a 1-to-4 player Ozob, a cyberpunk board game. You're going to be taking the roles of hackers, mercenaries, posthumans, and other rebels to fight against the oppression of mega corporations. So blah, blah, blah. Normally,
Cyberpunk, yeah.
you have your own deck. There's 10 scenarios, each with its own event deck and unique win condition. Players always lose if one of their characters dies.
So cooperative? Okay.
So Mike asked me what I noticed about the title of it, and I got nothing.
Ozob.
Yeah, see, Mike's not
backwards
obvious.
bozo.
Oh, Z got it. Yeah, bozo backwards.
Z.
The artist is Rodrigo Bastos Didier, and this is the only game, according to Board Game Geek, that he has done.
That clown with his little finger, he's just like so creepy. I love it.
I figured you all would like this.
I
game.
really
like the
that
vibe,
a lot.
It's just nice to see a different cyberpunk setting. I mean, they're very similar. There's tropes, but
I'm just trying to figure out: is he wearing a grenade as his nose?
I think so. I was trying to figure out what that was.
I think that's a grenade.
I don't know. There's something about his hand position that's just like super creepy. Oh, I love it.
the rest of him though, not creepy at all.
All right.
No.
Well, anywho.
What is 0708? I understand that's what the Ozo is as well, but it's on his fingers there. Oh my gosh, I could look at this cover all day. This makes me so happy.
No,
No, I think that's just
love
Bozo.
it.
I think it says Bozo, yeah.
No, because you don't. Well, I guess you do read Pinky and don't you?
Depends how
Okay,
you're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
punched. Can you read it? How about this way?
This
Try
is
this.
super. It's so busy and vibrant, but like busy in the good way that you just keep looking at it. And you said it's cooperative. It kind of sounds like that. The game with the hook where you're hooking in. There's another game it's kind of reminding me of as you're talking about it. I'm super excited.
All right, let's jump to party games. From clowns to party games.
Back out.
Captain Obvious. This is coming from Lucky Duck. And so apparently you are writing a sentence that's so apparent that even a missing word won't confusing other players. So you'll write a sentence, I guess, you give it to someone else, they will erase one word, and then everyone has to guess what word is there.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Then, It's Obvious. This is a party game from Friendly Skeleton. You can demo it at Gen Con. There's a question and you pick the correct side. Man fish or fish man? Cilantro's soapy or cilantro's delicious?
Soapy.
There is a certain percentage of humans who taste soap when they eat cilantro.
Oh, I knew like some people it's like not genetic, but there's some.
No,
you either like it or you don't like it.
It's like a genetic thing. For some people, it tastes
I didn't
like
know
soap.
It was soap though.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, what a
Cilantro
sad
is
life.
so good.
Oh, in too deep. Yes, thank you, Mountain Pony.
Anyway, you're just trying to figure out which side has the most votes. The side with the most cards is the obvious choice, while the other is the oblivious choice. Then you debate. If you're on the oblivious team, you have to basically pretend you put down the obvious answer of everybody. Regardless.
Okay.
So we all vote. The one that gets more votes is the obvious answer, and then you have to guess who didn't put that answer.
Okay.
Hate the cover. But
Oh, yeah, that.
all right, let's move now to designer Ole Steinus and publisher Mood Publishing. I don't know them. They're coming out with a tabletop version of Valheim, which is
a video game, right?
exploration and survival video game that
Okay.
came out in 2021. So this will go to crowdfunding later this year. Cooperative board game. So
It's the other thing that's popular right now is video game adaptations.
Very popular. Yeah.
They are everywhere.
So far, they've been pretty good, though. I think there's
Yeah.
been more good than bad
Lately,
coming out of
they've
it.
been more
Right.
good than bad, yeah.
all right, Northgard has some expansions coming. Northgard Uncharted Horizons. This is a major expansion. So it came with some small expansions. So they have a new one that's coming later this year. Okay.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm curious. Tomorrow morning, folks, we're going to do the most played games from
Dice Tower East.
Dice Tower East. We're going to do that live, and we'll take a look at them. I'm curious, like if Northgard got played or not. We'll see. Speaking of games with getting expansion, Zoo Tycoon is getting an expansion, and every zoo game in the world, when they have their first expansion, it's always water.
Okay, it
right?
is.
Isn't that the thing?
100%. It always goes
Anyhow,
awesome.
there's more stuff here. Aquatic worlds, manatees, sea turtles, zebra sharks, and more. New biomes. So
didn't this game already have a bunch going on?
it's a very involved, I think, Lacerda Waite style Euro game with a really bad rule book. The designer has redone the rule book. He sent it to me and I looked at it. Looks much better. I might give it a whirl again at some point, but it is also not a simple game of, ooh, I built a zoo. There's just a lot going on in it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll probably be talking about this soon because I think it's coming to crowdfunding.
Okay.
Also, there's plans in the future for Zoo Tycoon, the board game, Dinosaur Digs. That's a standalone game. Hey, if you got it, run with it.
Huh.
I don't have a lot of information on this from Upper Deck Entertainment. They got Halo Mission Command coming, based on the Halo video game franchise.
Okay,
and
yeah,
coming
like a
out
video
September
game.
30th.
$20. Is this like a TCG or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what is this? A CCG or a standalone game? What are they saying?
So it's saying only $20 is the MSRP there.
I don't think it's. I think it's standalone because it doesn't say. It says 110 cards, one rule sheet.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Odd Words is coming. I'm sorry, Odd World. This is. Odd World came out. I'm sorry, in 2015. Swiss publisher Game Factory did Schragvogel Weird Birds, which is a new edition of that. Sorry, of Odd World. So you're trying to put cards on top of each other of different numbers. We're back to numbers on cards.
And birdies.
At least they put animals on it, yeah. Wait, is it all
It looks like birds. Yeah, it's called Odd Birds.
No, it's called Odd World.
No, Odd World was the original game. Now
I see.
The new name now is Weird
Okay.
Birds, or at least that's the translation.
Okay.
Rat Jack. This is a
What?
game from Mathal Khan, Maxi Mercier, and Studio H. So this is coming out in August. You have 12 different cards, 1 through 12, and you're going to draw a card and then play it face down in front of you, face up in front of you, and activate its ability or discard a card to flip over one of your face down cards. If you ever get more than 25, you're out. So you're trying to be the closest to 25 cards. So it sounds like blackjack with special powers.
Yeah, minimalist blackjack, micro game kind of thing.
I'd try it.
Cool.
Hate that art.
Let's hit each other with fake swords. Might sound like a stupid name, but that's because it's from the folks who made Exploding Kittens. It's also designed by Eric Lang, Mary Georgescu, and Ian Clayman. So this is a 3 to 6 player game. It's coming out later this month. And, well, you hit each other with fake swords, and then you claim action cards. So...
Does it come with swords?
I'm
Or
sure.
an inflatable sword.
The last game that they did in this style that was called Throw Burrito, which came with a burrito that you literally threw at people. Okay. So I'm assuming here you point at a pile of cards that you want, and then if no one points at a pile, you discard it. If multiple people point at it, then the fight boss chooses the 2 people who will fight, and they will try to hit each other with fake swords, but you have to follow all the rules on the cards over which you're fighting.
Okay.
I'm sure someone will like it.
Wait, you can't hit your opponent on the head or arm?
What? Why? Where else do you hit?
You have to hit him on the chest or back. I'd prefer to get hit on the head. This game was 2 years in the making. Fake Sword's one of those special lightning in a bottle designs that came together initially quickly, but took forever to develop and tune just right. All right. You know what, though? I mean, that Wombat game that they did, I liked a lot. Exploding Kittens, I don't think is great, but there's a small bit of game there. And Throw Burritos, my kids love that. It's just stupid throwing burritos. I'm sure they'll love this, too. This is definitely a teenager game or a young adult game, I think.
It seems like a church group game.
I think for me, the problem I'm having right now, I mean, obviously I don't know anything about this game. The cover and all those other games you said are really, really simple. And this one has a bunch of cards, which with what looks like a bunch of text.
But is that what it's saying is once you understand the symbology, because it's saying that there are each different rules on how the fight commences, right?
Yes, do you want to hear some of the rules?
Oh, please.
Before you can hit your opponent, spin in a circle 3 times while your chin is touching your chest.
Done.
Before you can hit your opponent, immediately after the countdown, toss your sword away. You must retrieve and fight with the other player's sword. When the sword fight begins, you must count down out loud from 20, 1 second at a time. If you haven't been hit by the time you reach 0, you immediately win. Toss your sword at least one sword length above your head, then catch it by the handle without it hitting the ground.
So what if you have this one, like, turn 3 times, then throw your sword, then pick up the other person's sword, and then that's now your sword, you throw it above your head. Like, what's the order of operations here?
I think you have to do all the operations, but there's also qualifier cards. For the entire sword fight, I got a P, it's called, you must keep your knees stuck together. Or anytime your sword hits anything, you must bow to your opponent. Or anytime a player shouts, "2," the other player must immediately respond, "Shay." Oh, "2 Shay."
Yeah.
You must keep both arms completely straight, no bending your elbows. So you're going to need some space to play this, and happily, you know, from us giving this piece of news, whether you'll like the game or not.
That is...
No review needed.
That's true.
All right. This next one is in the mail to us, so I'm excited about it.
Ooh.
Wrath of Fire Mountain. This is from Eric Lang and Phil Walker Harding.
That looks cool.
This is coming out at Gen Con. There's a primordial land of ever-shifting terrain. So you're going to roll the dice Yahtzee style and take actions with the dice results. And you're going to put people on volcanoes, and there's a whole bunch of just different things coming on this. But it's a competitive game. It's not cooperative. You're trying to score the most points. It looks fun, though.
It looks neat.
Yeah, it's a good look.
It's been a while since Game Right has had, in my opinion, a bona fide hit. This could be it, right?
Yeah.
I Heart Manatees, also from Game Right. This one will sell because people like manatees. It's my daughter's favorite animal.
Board.
This is also from Lang.
Yep.
The board, it seems like there's a disconnect between the board and the cover, because I loved the board that I saw first. Now the cover, I was like, oh, what am I looking at? Like, that looks like a...
You're building your
travel
own
sticker.
manatee habitat and rescuing manatees from the ocean. You'll start with one manatee, and you can hold more of them, and you're just adding manatees, moving manatees, taking pictures of manatees, and messing with sharks. Oh, no. You're playing the sharks to mess with other people's manatees. Ooh, that kind of defeats the purpose of the game. I heart manatees, but only mine.
But I want to eat your manatees.
That's a really weird... That's a weird thieving, right?
Like, does the heart represent consuming them? I heart manatees as in, like, they're delicious?
I guess, no, you put the shark in someone else's, stealing a manatee from another player. So you put the shark there, and the manatee's like, well, this is too dangerous. I'm coming to you. And you're like, yes, I love you. Until they find out what you've done. Then they're like, you manipulated me.
That's right.
Interesting.
But you also kept them safe, so...
From the danger I created.
It doesn't, you know...
Okay. And then finally today, Rayman the board game. Another video game.
Oh,
Okay, I do
wow.
like that. That's nostalgic and fun.
So this is from Flyos Games, or Flyos, Flyos.
Okay.
This is going to Kickstarter. So this is a video game series that came in '95 on different things, and then it fostered the Rabbids spin-off franchise in 2006, which my son still plays today because we have Mario versus the Rabbids. That's like a Final Fantasy Tactics kind of game. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this board game is co-designed by Maxime Tardif.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Very
I love
different.
the look of this, yeah.
What else have they done?
He's done Earth.
Oh. You don't need to say any other names at that point.
Right. Like that's...
And Brilliance. That's it. I'm very...
Thank you!
But this is a very new thing here.
Sorry. My bad.
No, that's fine.
Thank you.
Rayman, let's play the whispering game. So anyhow, that's the news.
Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff. Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.